Yes, guys. Sorry, to the new.
I
Welcome to
love
another episode of the Bootcast podcast. I'm your host, Justin. I'm here with my co-host, Colby. Colby, man, how you doing?
What's up, brother? What's up? I always feel like it's been a while, but I mean, this is landing on what, Monday, the
18th
18th of March,
2024. Let's clear that up. So people,
Yes.
so in the future, people are like, oh, they just recorded this.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the weather has been nice is subjective. It's been super rainy, so everything outdoors has been canceled. And it's starting to cool off now. But overall, I would say the weather's been pretty decent here.
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good since February, man. It's been good. Nice last few days, but
it was really fun on what day was it pouring? Was it yesterday on Sunday? Yeah, yesterday. Me and my oldest son, we went out to the high school nearest. They have a good turf field, and we were playing like in the pouring rain. And that was like one of the coolest, most fun things that I've done with him.
I love it. I love playing it.
Oh yeah, dude, he was having a blast. He was sliding all over the turf. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Dude, speaking of kids, man, like real quick before I know we're gonna like jump at the podcast, this is kind of like something I've wanted to talk to you about. My son has been struggling with this club, and all of a sudden Sunday has a baller game, right? Why is it that for us as parents, like I don't know how many people are parents on the podcast, but I feel so good when my son does good, like way better than anything I've ever done before.
Oh yeah, I think that's natural. I think that's just like inherently you as a parent. Like you always want your kids to do better than you ever could.
Right. I know he's gonna be so much better than me at soccer, but it's just one of those like, oh, like you did awesome, and like that's the best feeling in the world.
Oh yeah, dude. Like my oldest son is dyslexic, and so he just got diagnosed last year, and so this year, he started his dyslexia therapy through school, and to like see his journey from like when he started this year to now, and like how much he's trying to read and stuff, like my mind is blown. But yeah, like it's like the coolest thing. Like I'm not doing anything, I help him with the homework.
Exactly.
But overall, like he just does it on his own, and yeah, like watching your kids like succeed like that is like definitely like creme de la creme.
Freaking awesome, bro.
All right, dude. So it's episode 14. Per usual, who is your favorite number 14? And I swear to God, if you say a Liverpool player,
oh come on. Well,
do not pick that bum.
Are you serious right now?
I know exactly what bum you're gonna pick. That washed up bum who ruined his reputation by going to Saudi and is at Ajax.
Oh no! You're thinking of something. No,
oh,
dude,
okay. I thought you were gonna pick that bum because he won you a league and the freaking. Oh God, I was about.
We're actually gonna talk about that bum later.
Okay.
He's more on the bum side now, but no, dude. This is a club legend for Liverpool and Real Madrid. We're talking about Xabi Alonso, bro. He's gonna be a legend for Bayern Leverkusen before he leaves there, bro.
Say his name.
Xabi Alonso. Look, bro. You put the X. You ask me as like an American to say it. I'm always gonna
Xabi.
Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso.
There you go. Xabi. No, dude, banger pick. That is like, to be honest, when I really, really, really started watching football was like in 2012. Well, it started out, been watching United pretty much, but I mean like really invested a lot of time. I was watching the 2013-2014 Real Madrid season, which was his final season at Madrid. And that guy is the reason why I love the DM position like so much. Like that dude was such a baller. So calm and collected. One of the best long passes / cross passes, maybe besides
the long
Bex.
Passes, dude.
Bex
so
is probably
good.
the best at it.
The through balls he was able to provide were just phenomenal.
Oh, dude, yeah. And like, again, one of those players kind of like Busquets, like was never fast, but was just like a maestro on the field, just like controlled everything.
Yeah, just a cerebral player, dude. Just like so good. That's actually, they said, we had such a good squad with him and Gerrard and Torres, and it started to fall apart after we sold him to Madrid, and you just kind of gotten that down spiral. But yeah, dude, just like club legends for both clubs, freaking Champions League winner, multiple Champions Leagues. I'm sure he won. He probably won the league with Madrid. I'd have to go look at the stats, but yeah.
Oh, mine's Thierry Henry again.
Oh yeah. That's a shoo-in.
That's the right answer. That's obviously number 14. But who are some other? I mean, who can say anything about Thierry Henry? He's arguably one of the top 2 Premier League players of all time in my book. Maybe him and Ronaldo. absolute baller. I think has won every single trophy besides a Ballon d'Or. Yeah, dude, and he's a great freaking pundit. I love watching him.
Dude, those guys are awesome. Yeah, I love watching those guys.
Yeah, they're great. But yeah, TT. I mean, there's nothing to say about TT.
Yeah. Just
who are some other number 4? Because people in the comments kind of get mad at us that we don't guess all their favorite people.
Chicharito was 14, wasn't he?
Chicharito was a banger 14.
I love, dude, honestly, like Chicharito at Manchester United in 2011, 2012 with the White Tiempos. Phenomenal.
Yeah, he was a Tiempo guy.
He was awesome, dude. He was awesome. He did pretty good with Rooney, and then I think he got switched like around with Welbeck, but yeah, he was pretty good 14.
He was to me, he was always kind of like Ollie. He was always like a really good super sub. Like I never really couldn't count on him. Same thing like when he was at Madrid, kind of.
Yeah, and that Madrid move was weird. That was a weird, maybe a lone move. And then he finished
what? He went to Bayer Leverkusen, and then I think he finished at LA.
Is he still? Yeah, is he retired now, or is he still playing for
the Galaxy? I think last year he was still playing. He might still be playing, but last I heard, he was at Galaxy. That's about all I know about him. Yeah,
that's a 14 though. There's the bum that you don't like to talk about. That's number 14.
Oh God, dude.
Captain. You know what's funny is Jordan Henderson. I'll say his name. He in the 2014 season, 13-14 season when we had Suarez, Sturridge, Sterling. We had this crucial game against, I can't remember if it was the Chelsea game where Gerrard slipped. No, that was the game. So he got hurt in the Man City game prior to that. And that, I think, is a big reason. I mean, it's not the reason Gerrard slipped, but that's a big reason we actually lost that game and then proceeded to let the title slip out of our hands.
No, I like Jordan Henderson, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, he's so past his prime now. And I think that, again, he's a Scouse, so I can't say anything positive about him. Just being a United fan, it physically pains me.
He was the only survivor from the Kenny Dalglish, what was it, Moneyball transfers where he had freaking Charlie Adam and
where did he come from?
Downing. He came from Sunderland. He was a Sunderland academy player, I believe. Okay. And he's my age, so he was pretty young at the time when he moved over. So I think that's the only reason he lasted, because Stuart Downing was 26. Charlie Adam looked 40. He was probably 28. And then we had Andy Carroll, of course. So all those guys flooded out maybe within a season or two.
Yeah, no, I mean, he was a great player. He did his job. I think my issue with him now is just the favoritism Southgate plays for Henderson.
He enjoys the sideways passing.
Yes, and it's just Jesus Christ. And they were talking about how Henderson, basically, Gareth Southgate has always made statements on why he picks players, and he always throws them out the door when it comes to his favorites. But he was saying something about how Henderson's one of the best in his positions, blah 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 blah, and he was just going on. And he's and he's so informed. Look at what he's doing with Ajax. And since Henderson's been there, I think Ajax has won 2 out of their last 10 games, and he's been playing in the back 4 or the back 3.
Dude, have you seen the interview he's done with the Ajax reporter where the guy's just ripping him up and down?
Yeah, it's basically saying he just does sideways passes instead of going forward. He's tough. Yeah.
I feel bad for that guy, man. Well, I actually don't feel bad for him, but the whole point of him going to Saudi was Fabinho left. Yeah, for money. And I don't even know if he got that money because I don't think he stayed long enough. He didn't stay.
He gave it all up because he would have to, it was some kind of tax thing. And he would have to pay a massive amount of taxes. So in order just to ignore it, he just was okay, boom, 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 we'll go our separate ways. But he even recently tried to come back and was oh yeah, I went over there for the wrong reason, and now I'm just happy playing football. It's bro.
He just, oh gosh, dude, he regrets leaving Liverpool so much because he had a contract till 2025. You should have just stayed, Jordan. I'm sorry, man, but you should have just stayed.
But speaking of Liverpool, it brings me great joy that United beat y'all 2 days ago in the Cup.
Yeah, well,
how did that feel? Because it feels great, and I haven't talked to you about it at all because I saved it specifically for this.
Yeah, well, if you guys had been Chelsea, we would have gone all the way to penalties and probably beat you guys on penalties. No, so here's where we went wrong, right? So we once we put that second goal in, I can't remember who, I think it was Mo Salah just before the half.
Yep.
We just thought a goal was going to come in the first part of the second half. I thought the run of play was like definitely in our favor, and then that goal just never came. Like we had a lot of chances, it didn't happen, and then it left enough time for freaking Anthony on the spin. Like what the
with his right foot,
what
dude.
Like
that what? Beyblade. You let the Beyblade tie it back up.
I have no idea. Like, has that guy scored any?
Not this year. It's his first goal this year.
Jesus.
It's like 30. I think it was 30 games. He's at 30 games, 1 goal, 0 assists now.
Yeah, $100 million. Good job.
And then I thought it was interesting that Harvey Elliott got you the 3rd goal, but then he's also the reason that y'all got the 4th goal scored.
And we'll be honest that both goals, the Harvey Elliott goal and I'm trying to remember who scored the first goal. Those were both deflections, so there's nothing Onana can do about that.
The first goal was McAllister.
Yeah, I love McAllister, man.
Yeah. Dude, did you see that he did the same like flying kick into Harry Maguire that happened to him against
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. But okay, biases aside, nobody can tell me that wasn't one of the like most entertaining, fun to watch games. Like, and that right there, and like between Liverpool and United is why I always say that counterattacking football is the most fun football to watch. Because like you watch that, and like to me that is so fun to watch compared to like if you were a Man City fan and you watch them beat a team like 4-0, 5-1, like they always do. Like it's so boring.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. It is really fun to watch the counterattack with United, especially when Marcus Rashford is on the counterattack and then he blows it one.
Alejandro Garnacho. God, dude, those guys are so fat. Like that's the only thing I can watch is like on that final goal when Ahmad intercepts the ball from Harvey Elliott and gets it to Garnacho, and you just watch Garnacho take off, and then you watch Ahmad take off. I was like, oh my, like so fast. And Garnacho had already been playing 120 minutes. He's playing injured. Bruno got moved to center back because he was playing basically like people think he might have like some kind of broken foot or something. Yeah, and he finished the game 120 minutes with injured at center back. Like the final formation I saw that game, it was so fucking stupid.
It was ridiculous.
It makes no sense, but that's one of those like I'm throwing everything at the wall and like, I'm Ten Hag out and I still don't think he's the man for the job. But I'm like, at least you like showed balls and like went for it. Right. Like that's my thing. Like just go for it. Even if we lose, like what do we have to lose? Just go for it.
Any Manchester United manager has had nothing to lose because there's been so much like ridiculous pressure. Like Erik ten Hag, like you might as well. You literally might as well. And what sucks about this game on the Liverpool side of is as I believe now, Nunes is hurt. Who else was on the pitch? I think Diaz might be hurt, and then there's one other I can't remember. But yeah, and we still have freaking multiple games in the Premier League to go. I don't know if it actually counts as what they're going to call it, a quadruple or a treble.
Quad.
Does it count as a quadruple if the Europa League is the trophy in contention? Because to me, a quadruple is UCL. Like,
see, that's how I feel. Like that's if you're going to win the quad. But from what I've ever heard everybody say is it's a domestic treble and a 4th trophy.
Right. So technically we've got it, but you have to have a little asterisk there to say like Europa League.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, The other thing I noticed in that game, boots-wise, is Darwin Nunez rocking the Generation Pred, which I forgot he's switching into Adidas boots, so I thought those were the MDS 8s.
Oh, yeah, the green ones that are out. I'm like, I thought those were red ones. Yeah. No, he's been weird. He's been doing the laceless Preds, then he was doing back to the Mercurials.
He did the Copa Pure 2s, I think, like, and then switched it half, like a blackout. Yeah.
He was also, he wore, I want to say, was it Puma? He wore another brand, too, for like a game or a practice or something.
The Puma Ultra.
Maybe.
Ultimates.
It might have been now that you say that,
boots.
I think it might have been the, what colorway would it, the yellow ones.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. He super, very weird with his boot choices and very weird that they put him in that colorway.
Yeah, very strange. I don't know if I've seen a striker outwardly wear a Pred. I could be wrong. Most of the strikers I see wear. Oh yeah, Jota does. Yeah, Jota. He's such a utility player. Yeah, that's a yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like again, that we've talked about. I think we've talked about it, but I know a lot of other people have talked about it over the years with the whole boots pipe position thing. But it's just like, even like back in the day, the Mania was also a striker boot. Just like we talked about how back in the day, the Tiempo was a striker boot.
Yeah.
So it is really interesting that they're bringing those back. I think it's really, really interesting though that he wears the laceless Preds. He's one of the only people I see wear laceless boots.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. You guys, if you've been watching the podcast, you know my feelings on laceless boots. I just can't. The lockdown's not as good. Any laceless boot I've had is just felt a little bit floppy. Like I need the structure. So I don't know how you could be playing in a striker unless they completely customize it to you, which I know that João Felix striker sometimes on the outside, but he also wears laceless, or he was wearing the laceless Adidas Speed Portals, I believe. I don't know what he wears now, but
no, he wears the crazy fast laceless.
Okay, so it can be done. It can be.
Yeah,
done.
There's a couple of people, and I mean, I'm sure, like you said, it fits to your foot, so it's going to fit different. And honestly, like if the Pred didn't have the fold over tongue, I don't know if I would wear the laceless or the laced on that one.
You better wear the laced.
Because
no, you're more of a laceless guy than I am.
I like the laceless, but even on the accuracy, like the accuracy was the first time I didn't go with the laceless. I wore the lows, and I really like the lows on those. But yeah, I mean, with my edges, I wore the laceless. The freaks, I wore laceless. The 18-19, the mutators, I've worn laceless.
Yeah.
But yeah, the FT for 100% is the way to go in those boots.
Right, obviously.
Okay, speaking of like interesting boots and bringing and kind of throwbacks, the new World Cup. No, I'm sorry. Is it the World Cup? Yeah, it's for the World Cup, right? Or is it the Euros?
We talking for the Predators? You talking?
No, for the Copas.
Copas. Okay, that's. I don't know if that's called. Yeah, it's called the. I've heard it called the Country Pack. I've heard it called the Federations Pack. I think it's just to go along with.
It's probably basically It's basically the Euros on the UK side, on the Europe side, and the Copa here. But
because what do you have? You have Italy. Well, you do have Argentina in there. You got
Italy,
Germany,
Spain, Germany, Argentina. Is it Colombia?
Colombia. No,
I don't remember all the boots, to be honest.
I think it's Germany, Italy, Spain, Argentina, and Mexico. Mexico are in there as well. Mexico boots look good. I like that off-white. I like that off-white and that green.
Those are the ones I would have gotten. Mexico ones.
Yeah, I have no affiliation with Mexico. I am half Mexican, although I don't look it. But those are the boots I would have gone for.
I need to see those.
While you're looking those up, I want to talk real quick about I've never worn a Copa Mundial. I remember that used to be a Copa Mundial used to be the most expensive boot when you'd go into like an academy or something. This was back in like 2006 because my mom would take me there and we'd be looking for like takedowns of whatever boot for my soccer season, and I would see them and I was really curious about them. They were I think at the time like $90. I was like, holy cow, that's expensive for whatever it was, like 2004 2005, but they are now, I believe, in this pack like $200 US.
Yeah, I think they're $220.
They're $220. Oh my goodness.
It's either $200 or $220 because I think a regular Copa now is $180.
Jesus, man. So you're talking, and they do rarely make colorways, like legit colorways for the Copa Mundial. So this is a real rarity. They did a white version of them, I want to say maybe back in like 2014 or something.
Yeah, and then they did that. I don't know if you remember the Samba pack in 2014, but it was like all the same colorways as the I think it was the F50s, but it was like a lime green one, an orange one, a purple one, a pink one, and the blue one. I think that's what it was. But those are the only colored ones I remember. Oh, and I said purple, and that was it.
And we've kind of talked about the on the Bootcast before. Like they did the in 2020, they did the Mundial Eternal pack where they put the Copa Sense bottom on it, which that actually appeals to me. Just Copa Mundials in general, they're very heavy boots. What would you say, like maybe 11 ounces around for like an average size,
if
maybe
not
12
more.
ounces. So in what modern boots are 7 to 8 ounces, so it's gonna feel like a brick on your foot. There's not a lot of structure to them. The sizing is interesting. What we landed on, you have to go a half size down.
Is it a half or a full? It's somewhere.
No,
it's weird.
It's a full.
It's a weird sizing thing. Yes. It's just it's a timeless boot, and so I do think it is really cool when they do these weird colorways. But at the end of the day, like all this whole pack, it's for collectors. Like it genuinely is. Like maybe you're gonna have one or two people that are gonna wear them, but I think it's cool that when they do these, they are basically for collectors. They're just to show off, and that's it.
Yeah, and when you and I were younger, probably in our like maybe early 20s or so, there were still a lot of guys ahead of older than us that were like they wore Copas. They wore Copas their whole life. They never switched boots. They were always loud. They used to make these videos. Josh and some other people of like, if you wear these boots, this is how you play. And the Copa Mundial was always a straight lace player, like square passing, just. They always wear Copa Mundials. It's the only thing they've ever worn. I wonder if those guys are kind of phasing out. They've got to be, in their 40s now? Because I don't know a lot of people our age that still wear Copas.
No, and like the only people who I know wear Copas, like some of the guys on my team, but they're all like in their late 30s to mid 40s to maybe their 50s. And 9 times out of 10, like on my team, I'm like known as the boot nerd. So like everybody's like, oh, they give me a hard time about boots, but they always want to ask me. And most of the guys who have gotten out of Copa Mundials, the only boot I can get them into is a Copa Icon. And because it's for them, it's basically the same thing. It's just lighter. That's what they always say. They're like, I want this, but I want it to be lighter. And so I'm like, this boot. And they're always like, oh, it's perfect. I can't get them in anything else, let alone spend money. Yeah. But the Copa Icon, like that's why I think the Copa Icon is such, like the perfect boot right now, because it's the way to phase out those old timers, but like kind of still bring them into modern.
Yeah, and you know what? Mizuno has actually perfected the craft of lightening their sole plates, like the plastic in their sole plates, so they can still have like a heritage boot, like a Morelia 2, and it has more modern elements to it. I will say, though, we talk a lot about sole plates and the advancements in that, and the rigidity and the snapback and the aggression. But what we don't talk a lot about too much is with the Copa Mundial, there's no structure to that leather. There's no structure to that kangaroo leather. So it will it's just going to feel like that's why you have to get it so tight, because it's going to feel like an expansive sock essentially. So that's one thing I can't handle. I need structure in my midfoot. I need to feel like I'm being supported. I think it helps. I don't know. I think it helps performance on the field for sure. I think it helps me feel like safer, safety-wise, making cuts and turns and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, no, I think the thing with the Copa Mundial, especially, is like you have to remember when it was made. It was made in like 1982 or something, and it's still from 1982 boot. So you know what I mean? Like it is super soft leather. It fits great if you get the right size. Like it fits great, but it's designed from 1982. And they haven't changed anything, so you wear that thing for a season, and let's say you go down, it's gonna stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch, and that's just how that boot is. Like the Copa Mundial, the reason it was so cheap back then too was it was designed to wear, and when it doesn't work anymore and you throw it away, you just get another pair and go from there. That's why that the thing with the Mundial versus like what Mizuno does, I think what's their true heritage? Is it just the Morelia? That's it?
I believe so. I believe it's the Morelia. Yeah, what is it now? The Morelia 2. And I've actually worn Morelia 2s recently, and I still can't even play in those because there's not enough structure. And they try to put that run bird on the side of the midfoot to really give it some structure, but it's still like it's nothing like any kind of modern leather, like Tiempo Legend 9, Copa Icon, Copa Pure. Like there's so much structure in those with the fusion skin.
Oh yeah, exactly. But it's just like at the end of the day, like even those are a little bit more modern than the Copa. But I know that they used to have one boot, and it's like the same thing with that. What's that Umbro boot that just came? The Speciale. It's the same thing. It's just an old school boot that's designed and made in an old school way. And so they're those kind of boots where if they came out now, but if there wasn't so much heritage to the name Copa Mundial, like that boot would just get wiped out, like Nike did with the old Premiers and all those kind of things. Like it just sticks around because it's literally like you can kind of point to it as like this is boot history. You know what I mean?
Right.
So again, it's a cool boot, but it's not for me anymore.
Yeah. So this is kind of bleeding into another topic, but this is what we're talking about with, okay, how many guys still wear the Copa Mundial? Okay, it's a collector's boot. You keep it on your shelf. I wonder if that's why they're going back and blending that Copa Mundial name with the next Copa that's going to come out, or at least that's what's rumored.
Yeah.
In late 2024. I've seen some photos of people in training with the Copa, the next Copa. It doesn't look like anything like a Copa Mundial to me. It actually looks like a 17, 18.1 without the little deal that goes up.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It looks kind of like this, except for like this would be on the inside. So it kind of like the pictures I've seen kind of look like that, essentially.
I definitely have seen some of those, like they're whiteouts, right? The ones you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They definitely look more like that Copa. And to me, that Copa that you just had was like the best version, maybe until the Icon came out.
This is my favorite.
Yeah,
my favorite
that
ever
one,
Copa.
I thought I had them, but I don't know where they're at. They might still be inside. But I have the generation before that. And to me, that's like the most like Copa in a modern day.
Well, and the reason I like it too is because it looks like, at least, I know there's reinforcements here, but the leather, you get so much leather here. You really do. So it really will expand your foot. I like the toe box. It's like nice and rounded. It doesn't have that kind of that sharp pointy toe. Like it's just a comfortable boot. It still has
and it has like a pretty round basic sole plate, but it's better than the old crummy Copa Mundial. Yeah, see, it's the same layout and everything.
Yeah,
you
can wear this on AG, no problem. These are like
more aggressive.
Partially.
But no, again, I definitely agree. I'm excited to see that new Copa generation because I definitely think that the pure 2.1 and 2 plus is not cutting it, and I don't think it's selling.
Yeah. The other thing I'm really excited about, and I know Andrew's mentioned this before. There's rumors that Nike and Adidas have both made more orders for kangaroo leather. So like, let's hope that they may try to pull that back into Tiempo Copa territory because that would be awesome.
I still don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I think that they pulled the orders, but I think they're going to keep it on the Premier and the Gloro.
Oh yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, I think the Icon is also. It's not kangaroo. I don't think. I think it's.
So it could be for the Mundials and the Premiers. That's what it could be for. It could be just like the very tail end of those because they did say that with the Premier 4 they're going to change into. Did
they say that, or did we find that out?
I
know they
like
put out a statement that said like we're not using leather.
Right.
But the Premier is that weird boot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like it's one of their boots, but it's like the redheaded stepchild. You know what I mean? Like
they don't want to claim
it. They don't advertise it. It kind of does its own thing.
And interestingly enough, if you go to the Nike app or the Nike website and you type in Premier, you can't get to it. You have to get to it by typing in like soccer cleats, soccer blah blah blah, and then you can find it through that way. Like if you type in Premier or Premier 3 in the Nike app, it won't come up. At least not for me.
Again, we've talked about the Premier and the Gloro to death. Just don't.
We'll drop it, guys. We're sorry.
Yeah,
we'll drop it.
Just don't waste your money. Like that's what. Like save up a little more. Either buy the New Balance 442 on your end. To me, if you really wanted, I would say get the Copa Icon. Like if that's the kind of style boot that you're going for. But yeah. Anyways, tangent aside.
Yeah, moving on. Let me get the next topic. So speaking of countries, we got the Copa Mundial countries. Nike released their kits for multiple teams. Multiple teams that are going to be in the Euros. We've seen the USA jersey. What do you think? Have you seen some of them? Most of them?
Yeah, I think I've seen quite a few of them. All right, let me get the ones that I have not an issue with, but the same thing is like I really, when it comes to country kits, like I don't know what it is, but Nike has become so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like their kits, and even like with club team, like in general, I don't know what is going on with Nike right now, but you're just so dull and boring. Like the USA one, it's always the exact same: super clean white shirt.
Mm-hmm.
England wears usually navy pants. The USA kind of wears navy or royal blue. They have some kind of stripes on the arms, and that's it. And then the away kits for both teams are just like fuck all. Like they're just like, we'll just throw some color out there.
Yeah, well, the funny thing about Nike and being so boring is they actually tried to change it up in this last men's World Cup for Qatar in 2022, and they moved the freaking crest to the or the Nike. No, it's the Nike swoosh. They moved the Nike swoosh to the middle, and then had some weird crap going on with the arm. I was so happy they changed the USA jerseys. That was the ugliest kit I've ever seen.
See, well, that's the thing too. Is like they're just like, and they don't do it across the board. They'll do it for some teams. Like I know in the new one, Brazil's is in the center, but like England's and the USA is classic. Yeah, and I prefer the classic just because
I prefer the classic look as well.
They have the number, and I'm really weird about like I like symmetry. So like if you're gonna put the swoosh here, you'd have to do like the crest on the side, and like if they won the World Cup, you could have it over here. Like that would be okay.
Do something like
that. But
it's
just like I get it. Like they try to honor heritage, but it's just so fucking boring, bro. It's so boring. And it's just like I think the coolest part of the USA home kit is the neck, where it's the American flag. Like I don't like USA. I don't watch USA. England's my team, but that's like the coolest thing on that jersey. And then it's like the away kit, I think, is terrible.
Yeah.
I think Mike likes it, and I think Lockhart likes it, and I just think it's god awful.
It's funny that you say that you like England as your team, because I feel like that's my team until US is actually playing, and then when they go out, I go. Does that come from being a United fan and so many United players playing on the England team when you were younger?
Maybe it's like, well, it's hard too, because like being a United fan, like I've always said, I'm a Ronaldo fanboy, so like I will always watch Portugal if he's playing too. But maybe it's just like all the players that I liked and respected the most were always English. So Beckham, obviously, Rooney, Stevie G, Lampard, John Terry, Rio. It's like Gary Neville. And so it's like when you have all those people that you watch normally, and like some of your biggest rivals are also on that. But even like now, like a lot of the players I really enjoy. I love Jack Grealish. I absolutely love Jack.
Yes, Phil Foden.
Foden, I respect him. I don't love him. I respect his talent.
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka, Jude. I absolutely have been loving Jude since the last Euros. Declan Rice. I like Kyle Walker.
Yeah. This is a good generation.
Yeah,
it's
dude, to me, this is like a golden generation. And that's why I want that bum Harry Kane off the team. Because I genuinely believe, until Southgate and Harry Kane leave,
if he puts that second penalty away and Lloris doesn't read him in the World Cup, dude, they could have. I don't know if they would beat Argentina, but they could have won. That was a good match.
Here's the thing, though. And you know what? He didn't.
Yeah.
And you know what? Didn't. France won, and then Mbappe, like, to me, had the best World Cup final I think I've ever seen.
Amazing.
Like,
that was amazing.
I think the kid has such an ego, but that game was like,
he put the game on his back, man.
So yeah, and I love the French team. But anyways, moving on.
Yeah,
moving on. Like some of the kids are like super boring, but then you have, I think it's for Nigeria, but they did the square collar, and I don't know if you caught, but it's like a perfect square. Yeah. So it's intentional.
What's up with that?
I don't know what it is either, but I'm like, I kind of want that jersey.
Oh, you want it.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks so out of place. And New Balance has tried to do this stuff too, where they'll it's not completely square like the Nigeria jersey, but it is kind of like a weird neck thing. But like, guys, like our necks, there's like a circular shape to them. That's why it looks so good when we have jerseys that kind of just fit the neck. Like, so when you're going outside here or here, it looks weird. I don't even like V-necks personally. I'll be honest.
What?
I like the circle, man. It just, to me, it looks good.
Okay,
crew neck.
Okay, before we move on, do you like a crew neck, like where it's like tighter, or do you like the relaxed one where it's almost like stretched out?
No, I like it tight. I just feel like it looks good. I don't like too much sloppiness hanging around. I really don't.
Okay, and then no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I might have one. I might wear one V-neck when I play, and it's just because it's some cheap like shirt you get from Ross that's like paper thin, and I can wear it in Texas when it's 100 degrees and we're playing outside. That's the only V-neck I really have. But yeah, in general, just wearing, I'm not a huge V-neck guy.
Okay, so when it comes to like collar, because I always find this we need to have a jersey episode where we like talk about some of our favorite jerseys.
Yeah.
And we can actually figure out how to edit and put the photos. But like when it comes to jersey collars, what kind do you like? Are you like a polo collar guy?
No, hang on.
Like
it is Justin. Okay. No, it's not. I like that. That's
just
me.
like a plain boring one.
Yeah, my boy right here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I like this kind.
Okay. That's a good. No, I like those collars too. It depends on the jersey. Like some jerseys, I absolutely love the polo, but then other jerseys I can't stand it.
There's one Adidas jersey I have in my closet. My closet's too far away, but it's the last Adidas kit they made before we switched over to what was Warrior. But it's kind of like we got the new standard chartered, and like I love that collar, dude. It's like I'll bring it up next podcast, but that's one of my favorites as well. I love that jersey.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, it just depends. Like one of my favorite eras, and I'll bring it in. It's too far to go get, but it's like it's around, I think it's 2006-ish era Adidas, if I remember right. But it's like a crew neck, and then it kind of like raised up and went around.
Yes.
And I absolutely, I always remember the Madrid one because it's like one of Beck's last ones. But I loved that color.
I'll be honest, Adidas makes the best kits, and it sucks. So the reason that Adidas dropped, I don't want to make this a Liverpool podcast, but the reason Adidas dropped Liverpool is because we were sucking so bad. They said we weren't a big club anymore, and we just took the biggest sponsorship we could get, which was Warrior at the time, which was New Balance's subset. But the Adidas kits that they made for Madrid in the early 2010 era, the Adidas kits that they made for Chelsea in that era, where they had like that white Adidas coming off.
That's the one. That's the collar. Yeah.
It's so they make the best kits, dude.
Yeah,
Adidas
I agree.
has kits locked up.
Yeah, Adidas has always had good kits. That like even though they're bland, I don't know, it's hard. Because like when Nike sponsored United, I think I like those kits even more just because Ronaldo was playing in them and what we were accomplishing. But yeah, I agree. For like 9 times out of 10, I absolutely love the Adidas kits.
Yeah, on Arsenal they look great. The Adidas kits on Arsenal, like there's really not. I'm trying really hard to think of a bad Adidas kit. I don't think there's ever been one I haven't. Even oh my gosh, some of the old Liverpool. There was a black one that Torres wore. It was black and gold, and that I really wanted that jersey. I could probably still get it on eBay or something, but I wanted that one so bad. It was a black and gold Adidas.
Is that the same year that they had the silver one with Torres?
Yes, I think so.
That was a good one.
That might have been. It was either 08-09 or 07-08. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those are good kits.
Yeah,
and then you ever miss the Reebok kits?
Kind of. Those are a bit more baggy. I didn't watch during that era, but
okay. Yeah, the big baggy jerseys. Like when we had Umbro. That's classic. But yeah, so yeah, anyways, rants aside, I do really like some of the kits that Nike has put out. I do like most of the kits that Adidas has put out. But some of these designers, man, I don't know if it's the countries that hold them back or what, but some of the designs are just so bad.
Yeah. And I don't want to be the money man on this podcast either, always bitching about how expensive things are, but player version or authentic versus fan version, I don't know what the replica, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And it being like what, like $180 versus like $90. Like, what's your take on that? Should an authentic version be double the price?
No.
And that's Nike. That's a Nike thing that they do.
Okay, I have one authentic jersey. It's a United jersey, and I got it because it was at Burlington for $20.
Very nice.
It's very comfortable. It's a nice jersey, but like overall, when I sweat my ass off in it, I can't tell a difference than when I'm wearing one of my other replica kits I'm sweating my ass off in.
Yeah, and plus with Nike, their extra larges are like probably a regular large or a medium. Dude, you got to go up. You got to go up in some sizes on there because the chest area. Puma's the worst.
Puma's fits like you remember when Under Armour first came out? It was like the spandex. That's how Puma jerseys fit on the player ones.
Yeah, and the Arsenal players were complaining about that a few years ago when Puma was sponsoring them and how tight the fit was on their jerseys. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that, but
I've heard some players say that the reason that they like that is because it makes it harder to grab. That's why like a lot of players stopped wearing long sleeve kits and started wearing like the compression shirts under because they say it's harder to grab. Yeah. But dude, like you said, I am a sucker for a long sleeve Adidas kit. Like,
Adidas, oh yes.
Dude, anytime Adidas comes out, I'm like, yes.
Torres, man, that was prime.
Dude,
Torres, long sleeve Adidas.
CR7.
Well, him too, but
even at Madrid, that's all he wore.
Yeah.
And then when he came back to United, they didn't make kits in long sleeve anymore, and they started making them again and making the replicas because once he was there, everybody was buying the jerseys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for an Adidas long sleeve kit.
Oh, for sure.
Who are you rooting for?
Oh, for what?
For the tournaments
Euros?
coming up. Yeah. Or I don't know what the Copa one's called.
England, of course. I mean, that's my team as well. I mean, because I think you like England because there's so many United players on it. I used to like England more because we had, I think in 2014 tournament, it was like Daniel Sturridge, Gerrard, Henderson, maybe Sterling was in there. So I really have liked them. And now, like you said, like I like all of this young English talent. Like, so that's my team.
There you go. Is there any other boots you want to talk about? Oh, give me an update on the New Balance, the Furons.
Yes, this is awkward. I like you said, I wish I could put pictures up here, but in my last New Balance, my last indoor game, got a big chunk out of the toe of my New Balance, the blue Furons that I had, and it just made me question the durability of the shoe.
Here? Like this came off?
Oh my god. Okay, so this is.
I don't know if you have any. Okay.
No, yeah. I sent them back just because it was a huge chunk. But this is something I want to get into as well. Okay, so the chunk was out of here on the New Balance.
On the rubber, like on the actual
yeah,
rubber
excuse
toe.
me, the rubber. Yeah. It wasn't separating or anything. It was the rubber on the toe. Okay, so I went to go see because they have those on Unisport and they have the 442 Pros on Unisport, and they both use the same rubber bottom, right?
Okay.
And for whatever reason, somebody had the exact same issue that I had within a few games. So I saw pictures there, and that was on a 442, but they're using the same bottom. So I'm like, okay, there's something going on with this rubber. And in general, when you get turf boots, something I really like, and I don't know how much of a difference this makes, but I have multiple this suede liner here.
Mm-hmm.
The boots that I have that have lasted the best have had this suede liner. I don't know how much protection that really gives from any kind of separation from the rubber. Mm-hmm. But these two boots here, Mizuno, this is the Sala Classic, and then the Premier 3. But I haven't had any issues with these at all. Like this Morelia has probably been the most beat up indoor boot I've had. No trouble with it. So, and then the fact that with those Furons that happened after 3 games, I was like, okay, this is a defective issue. Like this shouldn't be happening.
And see that's the bummer too, because like it's a new product and it's the first colorway. So it's like almost like a double whammy against that boot to have something fucking wrong with it.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know if
will you get another pair and try them? Oh
no,
you're like
no. Only because like I would have if I hadn't seen pictures of the 442 Pro that had the same issue that mine had. Because I had a pair of 442 Teams, which there's no cushion on that indoor model. You shouldn't get that one either. But I believe I can't remember if there was a suede liner on it. I wish I still had it. I threw those away, but I wish I still had it. I would look and see. But those might have had a suede liner, although I don't think that would have helped the rubber, because the rubber is something different entirely. If that's below the suede liner, I don't know. But anyways, that was my experience. I'm sorry, guys. That was just going to be on me because I hyped the boot up so much. So
what are you going to go to now?
Now I still have my Ultimates, so I might try these. A little bit of room in the toe here in my usual size 9.5, but these are Old Faithful, dude. This is my go-to. Like this is what I bring as my backup when I try new indoor boots.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I'll probably start off with these, switch to these at halftime.
Okay, nice.
You know the drill.
Yeah. Per usual. Any updates with the GX2s?
GX2 watch 2024.
Yeah.
No. So it was raining so much in Texas, like you said, that I actually got to test out the AGs in a pickup game on AG.
Let's go.
Yeah. No real issues. A couple of my friends were, because we play outdoor all the time. Like but we play on a regular pitch. So they're not used to playing on AG. I'm not used to playing on AG for anything other than training. Mm-hmm. But these held up really well. There was a couple times where I felt like I kind of got caught a little bit, but nothing major. I know you probably play on AG more than I do. No, you don't. Okay.
When we were sneaking onto certain fields, yeah, but
okay,
nothing crazy.
That's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
But no, durability is awesome.
Okay,
still
cool.
nothing peeling at the toe.
Nice.
Where I mainly use it on the right.
Sole plates.
No cracked sole plates. Score 1 for Nike.
Let's go. How's the heel doing? Is the heel still fitting well?
Yeah, heel still fits well. I don't know what's going on with your heel and why it doesn't fit you for these boots, but have you broken the Preds out anymore? The 24s.
The FTs?
The FTs.
I have a little bit just for kind of messing around. I played like I said, when me and my son were playing the other day, I used the Adidas X Strungs, the crazy fast Strungs. Dude, those holes, no joke. Like in rain, like my foot was soaked. And like I talked to Andrew about it a little bit before, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they definitely get water," but he's like, "It's nothing crazy." I came home and like I had black socks on, and there was so much water that you could see where the water was. So they've broken in a little bit better, but no, I might try. I have an outdoor game Wednesday and Friday this week, so I might end up trying them. Okay, and leaving my Pulses on the side or my GX1s on the side.
Okay,
or my Absolutes.
Yeah. Anything that you are excited about on the horizon? There hasn't been...
dude. There hasn't been too much going on. We didn't really get to talk about it, but Adidas has now delayed 2 FT model colorways. They have delayed the Yamamoto, which is like the all white ones with the black tongue. Those look really just like crispy clean. But I'm excited for the, I don't know how you say that word, Rotiero colorway that's coming out, where it's like half gunmetal, half it's
like
I think it's
blue?
supposed to be it's supposed to be like the gunmetal manias mixed with the indigo pulses. I think that's where it comes from, or maybe it's just the indigo pulses. But that colorway looks really good to me, and I know a lot of the guys like in our friend group are kind of like turned off by it now, but I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I think I would fit into that. I just don't like it makes sense that you like them because you like the one Mercurial where it's like stripes on one side and then clean on the other, and this is what that reminds me of. Yeah, the half and half. Not a fan.
This is like one of this boot, but like when the Phantom 3 was out and they were doing that split and they would do one color. Like this is like one of my favorite like designs that they could have done. So yeah, that's with the half and half pair, I'm definitely excited for those. Yeah.
Anything else? I know we both talked about wanting the Mania remakes, the Champagne ones, rumored.
If and when those come out, those will be exciting. Right now, I'm just a Predator fan, and so there's a couple of colorways. Like I know that it's been leaked on Footy Headlines that Japan Blue set is coming out again. I don't know if they're going to remake the Mania, but the Japan Blue fold over tongues look real good.
Yeah.
And then those Champagne ones, if they do them right. Last time they did not do them right, so if they actually come out and it's a leather upper and stuff, I'll be happy.
If they kind of do a what was it, like Precision 1.1 remake, where it was that nice like Hybrid Touch 2.0, and I'm not talking about the leather one they did. I'm talking about
the synthetic.
Yeah, 0.1.
No, that's kind of what they did on the last time they did the Champagne Mania. If you remember, it was Hybrid Touch, and it just maybe it's because it was the OG Hybrid Touch, but it just didn't work well with the Mania. So yeah, I would prefer if they do a leather one.
It'll be interesting if they put it on the 24 sole plate, because
yes, that's what I was about to say.
I saw a picture of it was today actually of the accuracy right next to the white pearlized accuracy right next to the white FT version, and it looks like 2 completely different boots. It looks like a big old fat guy's boot, and then like a nice like slim sleek, because accuracy had some room in them.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the thing. Even when the edge and the accuracy were out, they still used the Freak Mutator sole plate, and we've seen that. Well, I mean, I don't know if you have, but I for sure have the OG Predator, that remake that's coming out, the 94. The 94 that uses the FT sole plate. So I don't know if the Champagne one is gonna or not. So because last time they did it, it was on the Ace 16 or Ace 17 sole plate. So it will be interesting to see which sole plate they use for the Mania, or if they continue using that Mutator one. because I think that mutator one is really good. Because I have it on my pulses, I have it on my absolutes, and then it was on the Japan.
It looks good on the
Manias.
pulses for sure. Like those pulses that you have, the UCL ones, like those look really.
Yeah,
good.
It looks good on those. It looks real good on the gold ones. It looks great on the all white. It's on the precisions. So we'll see what they do. I'm holding out, but yeah, that Mania one, I hope they do well because the red pair that I have is phenomenal.
Yep.
But other than that, man, is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
I don't think so. We should plug our friends over at the boot hour, is that?
I think it's the Football Boot Hour is the show, but it's on the Boot Wizards podcast. Yeah. Our friends, James, Lockhart, they made their own podcast. I loved it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So if you guys have time and you like our show, you should definitely go check out their show.
Yes, please go support our friends. But no, that's all I've got tonight, man.
Cool. We will get to the
strikers.
Top 10 strikers. We will get to the strikers. I'm trying to give it a little bit more time, and I'm really thinking about it. But that video is on the horizon, guys. I promise. I keep promising that video. It's on the horizon. I promise. But with that, man, Colby, tell them where they can find you.
You guys can find me at Kicking It With Colbs on YouTube and at Kicking It With Colbs on Instagram, where I post once a year. Love my content.
There you go.
Justin, where can they find you?
You can find me at Texas Cleat Collector. I just like to pick fights now on Instagram. So if you want to fight with me, come find me over on Instagram. No, just kidding. But I'm not. And with that, man, I think we'll say good night.
All right, brother. Good night.
You guys take care.